Explain Leviticus 11:10, where we talk about how we're not supposed to eat shrimp and other shellfish.
I'm so glad you asked. Let me see if I can help you with this. So in Leviticus 11, God provides the Israelites with a set of dietary restrictions known as kosher laws. These laws forbid the consumption of certain animals such as pigs and shellfish and require specific methods of slaughter for animals that can be eaten. And so even though the reasons are not explicitly stated in the text as to why God forbid them, there are several possible explanations, which I'm going to show you. So the word Leviticus actually means God called. And so in the previous book of Exodus, God had taught the people how to build the tabernacle that housed his holy presence. So Leviticus isn't really about regulations. It's about an invitation. He's teaching the people how to draw close to him in his holiness. Proximity to God has a price, and that price for the Israelites was purity. So Exodus was about getting them out of Egypt. That's their salvation. But Leviticus is about getting Egypt out of them, which is their sanctification. The word holy means sacred or set apart. So what God is doing is teaching the Israelites how to be sacred or set apart from all of the other nations that were surrounding them. He has to teach them about his holiness and what they can and cannot do in order to draw close to his presence. So there are two big reasons that God gives them these dietary laws. Number one was to teach them holiness and obedience to the Lord. So because God is holy and set apart, he has to teach his people how to live holy and set apart from the culture, the lifestyle, and the behavior of all of the nations that surrounded them. Number two was health concerns. Many of the prohibited animals in this passage, like pigs, blowfish, shellfish, they can carry harmful diseases to humans. And by avoiding these animals, the Israelites may have been able to reduce the risk of illness and disease among their population. So take shellfish, for example. They're edible today, but there are inherent dangers in eating ill-prepared types such as oysters. They contain a bacteria called Vibrio vulnificus that cannot be detected by smell or sight. The FDA actually produced a 12-page tract that warns people about the dangers of eating raw or ill-prepared oysters. So another prohibited animal would have been blowfish, and they can contain a toxin in their organs that is highly potent and deadly. This toxin, called tetrodotoxin, is thought to be more than 1,250 times more deadly than cyanide and 160 times more potent than cocaine. And I know you didn't ask, but since Christians hear this one a lot, I'm going to answer this one as well. In Deuteronomy 22:11, God tells them don't wear clothes made out of two different fabrics, wool and linen. Well, it didn't have anything to do with God caring about those two different fabrics, but it did have something to do with the linen ephod that the priest wore was made out of those two different fabrics. God wanted them to understand that the priest represented him. And he is set apart. So he would not let them wear those clothes made out of two different fabrics because the priests wore it. These are just some of the things that we as Christians want you to understand before you try to critique a text that you really don't understand. If you have any other questions, man, let me know.